What's up, guys? Welcome back to it Merengue. Today we have a bit of a different setup, a bit of a different type of video. Everything is a little bit different. We're moving on to the next stage of El Merengue. So essentially what's happening is we're currently moving the studio around, setting it up in different ways. So for today's video, it wasn't a live reaction, obviously. We're just gonna be kind of chilling, talking about all the games. We were watching all of them at the same time. And Ricardo, what did you think of all the games?
You know, we were watching the table change as live, and it was just back and forth, too much to keep up with, to really analyze one, but we got a good global perspective.
Exactly. And with that being said, why don't we just kind of start focusing in on Barça's game. Let's start with Barça. What you thought? You were mainly watching that one.
Well, first of all, Barça had no intentions of going out there and scoring and winning. They were content with the goal because I'm pretty sure that secures them the second place in La Liga. It was a pretty boring game, honestly. One of those games where not much was created from either team. Now
that we're on the topic for Barça, they were missing a lot of players. They're kind of going through a period where it's like, okay, they already made it to the Champions League. There's not that much to play for, but they still need to secure that second spot. Now, Atletico Madrid ended up tying to Sevilla 1-1, which essentially puts Barca in a good position to get that second place finish. Let's kind of quickly, before we move on to Madrid and any other news, let's kind of talk a little more about the Barca news. There's been a lot of rumors going on with Barca in transfers coming in and transfers coming out. Talk to us a little bit about it.
So the first one is Kessie from AC Milan. I think that one's pretty much secured. There's been 3 players rumored from Chelsea: Azpilicueta, Alonso, and Christensen. I think Christensen and Azpilicueta are looking more likely than Alonso. Also, Robert Lewandowski coming in. That one's a bit of a mess. I don't know how that would happen. Honestly.
I'm not sure because
I'm not writing it off because it's looking pretty promising, but it just doesn't add up to me. It doesn't add up to me.
Yeah. I mean, if it almost feels like the rumors are making it look really positive, but if you kind of critically think about Barca's situation, and there's all these players that are coming in, and they struggled so much to bring in Ferran Torres. Yeah. It's like, okay, well, obviously, yes, some players would be leaving, but it's not like that many are rumored to leave. Who's the main one rumored to leave?
Frankie de Jong, and he called it 2 months ago. He said Barcelona is gonna have to sell a big name, and there I was in the background. I was like, nah, we'll be all right. And as much as every single Barca fan does not want to let Frankie de Jong go, Xavi does not want to let Frankie de Jong go, I think our financial situations have twisted our hand into a position that's one of the only ways of allowing us to enlist these free players.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if that actually follows through and if that opens up space for Lewandowski. Lewandowski, who after his Bayern game said that this may have been his last game with Bayern. It looks like, he's not going to renew contract. So I would put my money on Lewandowski's going to leave Bayern, but now it's a question as to where he's going to go.
I also heard, I think it might have been Oliver Kahn, I could be wrong about the source or whatever, but Lewandowski's contract still has a year left in it.
Yeah.
And Bayern's trying to milk that year. So, I mean, they don't have to sell.
They don't have to sell. And I don't know, seeing Bayern and what all that Lewandowski's done to them, I feel like if Lewa goes up to them and he's like, guys, come on, let me go, let me try something different. And they're and they get into the stance of, you're going to stick your last year out with us no matter what. That would hurt the relationship a lot. And I feel like that would affect Lewandowski's performances big time. And he could have a really bad season, and then afterwards that could change the whole course of his career in terms of how he finished his career. Not his career would be over, tainted. But
from Bayern's perspective, I mean, this next year is almost assured to be still a good year. Maybe not as good as this one, but still a high scoring year. Mm-hmm. Bayern maybe still need a striker. They don't have that replacement for Lewandowski.
No.
For them, it's dude, just stick it out, man. Just stick it out.
Yeah, because I'm not really too sure who Bayern could bring in. But anyways, that's just kind of us sidetracking into different things. Like you said, you brought up the Chelsea players. Christensen, that one's a done deal.
Yeah.
you're a little more hopeful about the Azpilicueta. I personally don't think Azpilicueta is actually going to end up going to Barca. But it'll be interesting to see like what happens. Marcos Alonso, I haven't heard many rumors about him, so I'm not too sure. But I did hear at one point that he was rumored to go to Barca. So we'll see. Kessie is a good player. But, I don't know if he can fill the shoes of the young. We'll have to see about that one.
And that's the thing that frustrates me. Is like the young had an adaptation period. There was a lot of criticism in his first season where he didn't do bad, but he didn't do as good as he's doing now. Mm-hmm. So it's like, he finally adapted, and now we're like smacking him away. And if you think about it, we paid what, 60 for Ferran, 50 for Ferran. I mean, you would be letting the young go for maybe like max 80. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'd rather not have Ferran and keep the young.
And keep that. You bring up a really good point, especially with how many attackers Barca has. Yes, I know, which is actually something else that we can talk about. Adama Traore will likely be leaving Barca.
I think that's more of, again, the Barca saw that we couldn't sign him from Wolves for that 30 million that they wanted. If we wanted to do a trade deal for Trincao, they didn't accept it. And Barca's like, why keep playing him when we know he's not going to be there next season?
Which makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. But, I'm still just circling back to the thought that you said about Barca strikers. Next season, you're going to have, and this is me assuming that Dembele is going to end up renewing. I feel like he might.
I think he is.
I feel like he might. You have Dembele on your right wing, Aubameyang as your striker, and Fati as your left wing. And then you have Ferran, and then, Depay, we'll see.
Depay probably leave.
He'll probably leave.
Depay probably leave. And the cool thing about him is whatever we sell is clean money for us. So a fourth of that we can use in the transfer market.
Yeah, that is true. He'll bring up a good amount of money. I don't know. A lot of changes are coming for Barca in this transfer window, but not just Barca. Honestly, I feel like this transfer window might just be a crazy one. Everyone's gonna be moving around. Ronaldo, he's not gonna stay in Man U. No way he stays there. Messi will stay at PSG. Yeah, there's just gonna be a lot. What about this? What if Ronaldo, and I'm literally just thinking on the spot right now, Lewa leaves, Ronaldo goes to Bayern to be their striker, adds one more league to his, the Bundesliga. Ronaldo, obviously, in Bayern's eyes, you don't want to build a team around Ronaldo anymore, but it's like Lewa was going to leave regardless. So it's just like a temporary replacement where you find an actual striker.
What about this? Ronaldo goes to PSG, plays with Neymar and Messi.
Right, that is obviously another. I feel like those are his only two options. Only two teams that would maybe afford his salary too, but I still feel like he would have to lower a little bit, especially if he went to Bayern.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting regardless.
Another transfer rumor that I want to talk about is Luis Suarez.
Yeah, perfect transition.
He said that he probably played his last game in the Wanda Metropolitano already, hinting at his departure from Atletico Madrid.
A little technical difficulties. Yes.
Here we go. From Atletico Madrid, but he still wants to play in Europe, which, obviously it complicates things, because I thought he was headed to the MLS, if I'm being honest. There's still plenty of teams that he can play for, but definitely he's going to have to lower his salary, and I don't know, maybe a Serie A team.
I could see him going to the Serie A, but it's maybe like a Juventus.
Maybe PSG.
Oh my God, you have Messi, Neymar, Suarez. Dude, actually.
They've taken everything from Barca.
After Barca came back on them, they were like, we just need to have their players.
It's like he was like, Akalash was like, I want that. I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see, but Suarez has been a huge player in La Liga for the past 5-6 years. Since 2015, 7 years. So it'll be kind of sad to see him leave La Liga and slowly, Ronaldo, Messi, now Suarez, Neymar too, obviously. It's just been kind of moving down. A new transition period for a new era for La Liga.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I say we move on to now Madrid's game a little more.
Yeah, definitely.
A game that was actually for like the neutral fan, and I'm just gonna say for everyone. I think it was just a pretty exciting game to watch because it was so open. It was a Cádiz that is fighting for relegation and attacking with everything they have in a Real Madrid
opposing what they normally do of sitting back and parking the bus and looking for that counter-attack where they always get Barça.
Exactly. So them actually having to go up and attack because they need to get the win in a Madrid that with a lot of basically the whole B team. I think the only starters were Casemiro, Toni Kroos, and Militao. And Toni Kroos we'll talk about a little more later. Also Militao, who had a pretty horrendous game, but anyways, overall a Real Madrid team that was very different from the usual team. Also, not really playing for anything. Not like they're gonna be going out there going to tackles and trying to hurt anyone or get hurt. So it created an environment for a really good game that was very back and forth. Let's talk about that Mariano goal. But yeah, you almost want to say that Rodrigo goal. Tell us your vision on it.
I watched it from the corner of my eye. I was like, what was that? He just went through like 4 players, like a little gazelle, moving around. There was this one touch specifically. He takes the touch into the goal, but with the outside of his foot, and really quick cuts it back in, breaks the guy's player, opens up the space, and then he finds
Mariano, who just takes the goal, but honestly, 95% of that goal, 99% of the goal was Rodrigo Mariano just had to tap it in, which you can give him merit for following the play and being there.
Continuing the streak of this month where Rodrigo's been blowing up, having very important goals, good-looking goals too.
Yeah. In the Champions League, in La Liga. So let's see, just to recap, the last 10 games for Rodrigo, 7 goals, 3 assists. 1 goal today, 1 goal against Levante this week, 2 goals in the La Liga game before that, and 2 goals against Manchester City.
And Ancelotti's getting the headache of his life.
Yeah. Honestly, next season will be interesting.
Benzema, Vini, and Rodrigo creeping up in there strongly. And
Hazard. We'll talk a little more about him in a second. But yeah, Rodrigo. And just one last thing about that goal. It almost gave me like the Messi vibes from that. Because he started from half field.
Yeah. He got the ball at half field. That touch is like the Messi against Boateng touch.
Yeah, where he just
outside
and the defender just kind of was like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, it was
beautiful goal. After that, Real Madrid had a really close chance with Asensio, and then that was it.
But defensively, Real Madrid was
shaky. Very weak. Vallejo out there doing crazy things, just jumping for no reason. Militao was very weak. One of the poorest performances I've seen in a while.
With pace and strength by Negredo. Negredo was a strong player, but not fast. Not anymore, or ever maybe. But anyways,
and that specific play, I'm not too mad about it. Like, sure, you got beat on that one, but it's the other ones because it's just more the lack of concentration that he can sometimes have. Because it's like, okay, well, right now, it was Scotty's. We're not playing for anything. It's fine. It's fine. But. And he does tend to be playing more focused on the actual big games, but it's like at the same time, like that mentality of just allowing yourself to just take a game off. Like you can't have that mentality. I don't like seeing that personally from Militao, and I mean I hope he fixes it. But yeah, horrendous game, so many chances.
On the other hand,
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Lunin was insane. He ended up winning the man of the match award, and how many saves did he have?
The PK.
That PK made me just wanna
spice it.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Now I'm gonna switch the topics up considerably. So Madrid, we saw hinting potentially at the final, the Champions League final. Toni Kroos playing the whole game, Camavinga not starting.
Very, very interesting. And Ancelotti said in press conference, the team, he literally, and I quote, the team that plays against Real Betis, aka the last game in La Liga, will be the team that starts for the Champions League.
Now, what I'm interested and curious in is that Camavinga has had amazing past 2 months, we'll say, right? Proving that he can be a starter, but that's the thing, that he can be. He hasn't proved that he can, that he has been a starter and has had like that good of a game. So throwing out a 19-year-old player, yes, he's showing very good signs, starting at the Champions League final, would you guys do that? Would Ancelotti do that? I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't.
Yeah, I've had these thoughts already, and while Camavinga is having a phenomenal month, I wouldn't throw him out there to the final just like that.
But on the other hand, I've seen the comments. A lot of criticism to Kroos in the big games.
I don't think he's been performing at his best level, but at the same time,
it hasn't been bad.
Yeah, it's not like he's been having performances where it's like, Kroos, what are you doing? Like, no.
No, he's huge red flag.
Yeah. But I think it's more like he's been getting subbed out earlier in the games, and he's been throwing a little bit of a fit here and there, like, why are you taking me out? And then the team does better. And I think that's where the criticism's coming. Not necessarily from mistakes, but rather from lack of energy that Camavinga is bringing to the team. Now, here's something that I also want to say. I feel like Real Madrid's secret weapon to getting to the Champions League has been Camavinga and Rodrigo.
The super sub.
The super sub potential. Exactly, the super
Not
sub
as
potential.
not as starters.
We saw Rodrigo when he started the game, and that was against City in that first leg. When he started, he did fine, but
Nothing special.
nothing too special. City was a little more energy. Or I guess the other team has more energy. They're more aware of Rodrigo. Whereas whenever he comes in, just like as a freaking bullet for the team, and then adding on to that argument, whenever you reach that minute 70, 75, you don't have that secret weapon to come in. You just have like a Asensio who doesn't really provide that extra change of pace. Same with Camavinga. So if I were Ancelotti for the final, I would just go out there with the experienced midfield that will control the game, keep you at bay, and then in the second half you bring Camavinga, you bring Rodrigo, and they just tear it up.
Yeah.
That's personally what I would do.
We can move on to Hazard.
We'll see. Yeah. Oh, you wanted to talk a little bit about Hazard.
Yeah, so I in minute 20 of the game, I looked over at Rodrigo and I was like, how much would you be, like, would you sell Hazard and be like, okay, that's a good sell? Like, what price? What did you say?
30 million is what I would
30
be okay
million.
with.
And then I put it into perspective and I was like, Barça just sold Coutinho for 20 million. And from my eyes, different than his perspective, I think Coutinho, I would pay more for Coutinho at this current day than I would for Hazard. For the injuries that Hazard's had, yes, Coutinho has had a good amount as well the past 3 years. But Coutinho has had a solid year, or a year without injuries, in which, yeah, it was on and off, but he had some good moments. Hazard has not had a good moment at Madrid. Except maybe in the beginning,
Whenever we started.
right before that injury. But still, he didn't score. So it's like,
True.
I put that into perspective. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for me is that 30 million is the hope for what Hazard could still do. Because the thing is, he hasn't shown it to us because he hasn't played. And yeah, he's played and he's done bad. But after his injuries, after the surgery, now that he got like those metal plates removed, and that people are saying like he's training a lot better, he's feeling a lot more confident. And once again, it's hard for me to bring up that argument because I feel like that's been said so many times over and over in the past months to even year. So we've been saying that same argument of when Hazard returns. I don't think he'll ever return to be the level that he was once at, but I think the level that he could still reach is better than what Coutinho could do. Hazard is, in my opinion, more of a game changer than Coutinho. I don't know. But at the same time, I see your side of the argument, and it's like, well, I feel like if anyone came and offered Real Madrid 20 million, at this point, take it. Because it's more about getting rid of that salary. That salary that Hazard's paying, and the fact that Hazard is not going to be playing.
Let us know. Let us know.
It's a good conversation, good argument topic. But I mean, yeah, like I said, Hazard's not going to be playing much next season. Mbappe's going to come in. Rodrigo's playing at such a good level. Vinicius, Hazard is like 4th, 5th option at this point. So if anyone comes up with 20 million, I think Madrid might just take it. But I would have initially thought 30.
Even just to sell jerseys, 20 million wouldn't be that bad for
any team.
MLS.
Yeah. But anyways, I think we can reach a good stopping point. We just because there's not really anything in play in La Liga anymore.
Yeah.
We figured we could do a different type of video, more of a conversation, talk about rumors, talk about the games themselves, obviously. Let us know if you enjoy this type of video, just more of a catching up with rumors and anything like that. We want to hear from you in the comments. A lot of talking points that we talked about, so we want to hear your opinions regarding those. Ricardo, any final things?
Maybe we haven't talked about it. Maybe we could live stream the last La Liga match day.
Potentially. Let us
have you guys join us.
I'm sure you guys would enjoy that. Yeah, just to finish on La Liga and then right before the Europe trip.
Oh yeah.
Good way to end it. By the way, guys, we're still looking for those Champions League tickets. Let us know. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. With that being said, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell, and we'll see you later. Peace out.